Good evening and thank you for joining us for KREM 2 News at 5 tonight. I'm Mark Hanrahan. Whitney is off this evening. Just into our newsroom, the judge presiding over the case of the man accused of murdering a family of 4 in Kellogg, Idaho, has issued a gag order. The newly issued gag order by Judge Keisha Oxendine prevents investigators, attorneys, witnesses, or anyone else involved in the case from talking to the media. Prosecutors say Major John Kaler admitted to killing his 4 neighbors after he accused the oldest son in the family of lewd conduct in front of his young children. He now faces charges of first-degree murder and felony burglary. Kaler faces life in prison for each of the murder charges if he is convicted. We are tracking more breaking news at this hour. Law enforcement in Spokane searching for a possible child predator who attempted to abduct a 12-year-old girl. According to the sheriff's office, last night a girl was riding her bike when a man in a car grabbed her near South Abbott Road. The suspect then drove to Highway 195 where he went south to the Cheney-Spokane Road interchange. A short time later, deputies say he pushed the girl out of the car, then kept driving. She eventually made it to a nearby nom-nom and told the clerk what happened. Detectives say there is no witnesses or potential video that could help in the investigation, so they're asking anyone who saw suspicious activity or cars in the area from 5 to 9 p.m. yesterday to please come forward. And if you have a security system that could have captured video in that same time frame, to please turn it over to the sheriff's office. You can contact Crime Check. That number is right there on your screen. In a pair of controversial rulings involving gay rights and student loan relief, the Supreme Court today struck down the Biden administration's $400 billion student loan forgiveness program. That plan would have forgiven $10,000 for borrowers earning less than $125,000 a year and an additional $10,000 for Pell Grant recipients. In yet another 6-3 ruling, the court, they agreed, saying the president must have approval from Congress before making such a large financial decision. Today, President Biden reacted from the White House, saying that he'll keep fighting for debt relief.
I believe the court's decision to strike down my student debt relief program was a mistake, was wrong. I'm not going to stop fighting to deliver borrowers what they need, particularly those at the bottom end of the economic scale.
Well, the Education Department announced earlier today they are now working on a new student debt relief plan, but they have not laid out many details. More information, they say, could come out as soon as July 18th. Meanwhile, Biden said there will be a 12-month on-ramp to repayment to help borrowers avoid defaulting on their loans once those repayments begin. And today's decision, for the first time in more than 3 years, it means that student loan borrowers will have to make payments again. And in our effort to bring you more to every story, KREM 2's Nathan Hyun sat down with a financial expert to find out what you can start doing today to be prepared. Nathan?
Well, there's a lot of frustration with the Supreme Court's decision to strike down President Biden's student loan forgiveness program. And now the question is, how will borrowers start making payments again? In Spokane's congressional district, there are more than 99,000 people who qualified for the forgiveness program. But in 3 months, those borrowers will have to start making payments again.
I was really thinking that if that happened, I would be kind of sad, but yeah, it's not the case.
Boise State grad Christine Shelley has enjoyed the 3-year-long delay on loan payments, and she hoped for Biden's loan relief. But the Supreme Court's ruling now means she has to make some sacrifices.
Then we have to start paying them. I kind of have to put getting a new car on delay and all of that, and I'm not too happy about it, honestly.
John Maroney is a financial engagement manager for Numerica. He says you can prepare for these payments by reducing your spending on things like eating out or entertainment.
Things like rent, things like utilities, we can't usually cut those back very much. But like, okay, do I need to adjust maybe my eating out budget, my entertainment budget, travel, in order to bring those payments back into my regular spending?
He says you can also prioritize paying off your loan first before making other big purchases, or find a way to increase your income.
Maybe start a side hustle that allows you to make enough to afford that student loan payment, so it doesn't adjust your spending too much.
Maroney says if you are stressed or overwhelmed, to reach out for help. And if you're still feeling overwhelmed, Maroney says there are resources that can help, including Numerica's Green Path program. It gives free financial counseling and help to those struggling to pay off their debts. In the studio, Nathan Hyun, KREM 2 News.
All right, Nathan, thank you very much. Taking a break from the headlines, let's switch gears and talk weather with Chief Meteorologist Jeremy Legoo. Jeremy, the one thing about the forecast, it is hot, my friend.
Well, I think you just summed it up.
Yeah.
You want to throw in anything else?
We'll check back in with you later in the broadcast.
All right. No, let's talk about it because it is hot, it is dry, and you can see the anemometer spinning. It's hot, dry, and windy, and that combination means critical fire danger. And tomorrow, it's even worse. From the foothills of the Cascades through eastern Washington, we are under a red flag warning. That does include much of central Oregon as well. Hot, dry, and windy. And unfortunately, that's exactly what we don't want heading into the weekend with the 4th of July. Nothing in the way of cloud cover, and that's how we stay. So I went through wind barbs on here. Notice wind starts tomorrow morning. Wind picks up throughout the day tomorrow, and I think it is strongest around sunset tomorrow night. We will see wind gusts around 30 to 40 miles per hour. You combine that with an extremely dry atmosphere and our temperatures up near 90. Unfortunately, what that means is elevated fire threat, and any spark has the potential to start a fire, and any fire, unfortunately, has the potential to spread really rapidly and grow aggressively. So tomorrow, critical fire danger. High near 90 here in Spokane, 84 on Sunday, so it does drop quite a bit. That's still well above the seasonal norm. 86 on Monday, and then those temperatures just keep climbing through all of next week.
All right, sounds good, Jeremy. Thank you very much. We continue to track a wildfire burning 8 miles south of Colville near the community of Arden tonight. As of tonight, level 1 and 2 evacuation orders remain in place for people living in that area. So here's a map of the evacuation zone. Level 2 means you need to get ready to leave if you live in the area of Arden Butte Road. Level 1 evacuations are also in place for Moran Creek Road. Level 1 means be ready. The emergency shelter closed last night as people were allowed to go back to their homes. State and local crews are responding to the fire from the ground and from the air. We know that Stevens County Emergency Management says the fire is contained but not controlled. There were some structures lost during the original flare-up of the fire, and they are now working to find out if they were residences. We will bring you the latest updates here on KREM and over on our website, krem.com. Well, tomorrow is July 1st, meaning several new laws are going into effect across the state in Washington and Idaho. So let's take a look at Washington state. The biggest one is the new drug possession law. In May, the state legislature went into a special session to pass a new drug possession bill after they did not pass one during the regular session. So starting tomorrow, possession of controlled substances is a gross misdemeanor with 6 months of maximum jail time for the first 2 convictions. It also criminalizes drug use in public. Well, 4 years after it was passed, the WashingtonCares Fund officially launches tomorrow. The long-term care program is funded by a payroll tax, which for workers in Washington means your paycheck will be a little smaller starting next month.
It works just like a Medicare or Social Security. You pay in a little bit of every paycheck over your career.
Several viewers reached out to ask us how much it will cost them. So tonight at 6, our Verify team breaks down the cost per paycheck, plus some important information for people who live in Idaho but work in Washington. We'll explain what you need to do if you think you qualify for an exemption.